Triumph Pharmaceuticals, also known as SmartMouth, is a small business that offers a national brand. As a company with 10 employees, SmartMouth is an example to other small businesses of what can be done to support members of the Guard and Reserve. The SmartMouth team consistently finds ways to show support for ESGR events and the Heroes Care Donation Program. As a job applicant, the company went out of their way to accommodate my needs as a service member. The interview process was initiated during my deployment to Afghanistan and completed via telephone and Skype. The first time I met anyone in person was on my first day at the office. The SmartMouth team has a very supportive culture, and my coworkers have a good understanding of what it's like to serve because they have family members who have served. The CEO of the company, Andrew Birch, also asked me to review the employee handbook to see what changes could be made to make it even more inviting for service members looking to join the SmartMouth team. Andy also held a luncheon for the entire team where he invited representatives from ESGR to explain to everyone the advantages of hiring military members and how each individual could support the mission of the Guard and Reserve in their own jobs. Each time I've been put on orders, Andy personally reached out to my fiancée Amanda with phone calls, emails, and text messages to let my family know that he and my coworkers were there for them if they needed anything. That was so important in giving me peace of mind, knowing that my family had a support network in place while I was away serving in uniform. When I returned from both my training missions, I felt like I had not missed a day because our office leadership made sure there was a plan in place to handle my workload, and my team of coworkers was glad to step up and fill the need. So there was no work I had to make up following my training. As someone who served in both Kuwait and Afghanistan, I recognize how difficult reintegration can be for employees who serve. You go from carrying a weapon and wearing a bulletproof vest to suddenly being in an office environment. For me personally, I was also transitioning from being on active duty overseas in a combat zone to a new career in a new industry. It was very important for me to find an employer who would encourage me to continue my military service and to honor my commitment to my nation, while also making me feel 100% that I was a valuable asset to the company. And I am proud to say that Andy Birch and the SmartMouth team have given me both.
As a large employer with over 260,000 employees, AT&T has displayed many unique individualized ways to recognize and support me and my fellow Guard and Reserve members. I made a difficult choice to leave active duty service and transition to the reserves in 1998. I knew right away that I had to find a job with a company that was not only military friendly, but could also provide continuous growth and challenging opportunities. I questioned how my skills as a ship driver or an anti-submarine warfare instructor could ever translate into something usable in the civilian sector. I can honestly say my angst went away with the very first interview with AT&T. The interviewer was an Army reservist who truly understood the challenges and concerns of Guard and Reserve members. He was part of a vast network of veteran employees at the ready to help potential candidates translate their skills to the civilian sector. More importantly, he reaffirmed AT&T's long-standing commitment to the military, which I eventually had to put to the test. Since working at AT&T, I've been deployed 6 times in support of 9/11, the BP oil spill, and a variety of different hurricanes. Oftentimes, I had to respond with little to no notice and be gone for long durations. Given AT&T deploys to many of the same disasters around the nation with their network disaster recovery teams, they understand the need to respond quickly to catastrophic events. The process was effortless. AT&T has a strong commitment to ensuring deployed reservists and their families stay connected and supported during deployments. This military-friendly culture is emphasized from the top down. Each year, our chairman and CEO, Mr. Randall Stevenson, would send us a personal thank you note and a high-tech gift to keep our spirits high, help us remain connected to our families, and remind us that we are not forgotten. AT&T also partners with many phenomenal charitable organizations and donates millions of dollars to bring services to soldiers on the front line. This support comes in the form of free phone calls home, building calling centers in Iraq, Kuwait, and Afghanistan, donating more than 600,000 prepaid calling cards, and helping to provide 125,000 pizzas to our troops in the Middle East and around the world. The things I've just mentioned are a drop in the bucket compared to what my outstanding employer has done for our nation's Guard and Reserve, and especially me and my family. No words can adequately describe my heartfelt appreciation. AT&T, I proudly salute you and sincerely thank you for all you do.
I am a proud member of the Nevada Air National Guard and an even prouder 7th grade social studies teacher. My teaching career at Washoe County District Sparks Middle School began 18 years ago and has been nothing short of incredible. Especially as a guardsman, I've deployed 3 times to Iraq, as well as completed many other deployments around the globe. I don't have to tell most of you how stressful deployments are, but to a teacher, and more importantly to his students, deployments are even more difficult. Teachers who deploy with the Guard or Reserve leave their biological children for months or years, and they leave a classroom full of their other children. But I'm lucky. Through all my deployments, my school district, its superintendents, and students and fellow teachers were extremely supportive and encouraging. They made my military career and that of other Guard and Reserve teachers possible. One of those teachers was Master Sergeant Michael Lansbury, a comrade of mine at the 152nd Airlift Wing and a fellow teacher. I use the word was because Sergeant Lansbury, or Mr. L as he was known to his students, was shot to death last autumn while protecting his students from a gunman. Mike, as I called him, was performing his duty on the playground the morning of the shooting, just as he had performed his duty in numerous tours to Afghanistan. Mike, like me, always had the Washoe County School District's full support for his military duty. It's ironic, yet tragic, that Mike served his nation in combat, only to make it home safely and be killed on the schoolyard. But that was Mr. L, aka Master Sergeant Lansbury, a true citizen soldier, trained and ready to defend. In the days and weeks following the tragedy, the school district, led by Superintendent Pedro Martinez, demonstrated incredible support, going so far as to allowing me to represent the Air National Guard and Sparks Middle School at several community events honoring Sergeant Lansbury. I could think of no better way than to thank all of the members of the Washoe County School District for their outstanding support to the Guard and Reserve service members than to nominate them for the Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award.